Welcome y'all to Robin on the Farm. Today I have a fantastic sourdough recipe to share with you. This is a croissant sourdough loaf and it is so good. This is a classic sourdough recipe but with the inclusion of butter. And the butter makes it so soft and pillowy. Oh, it is so good. Now, if you're someone that has trouble eating sourdough bread because it's a little too crunchy and hard for you, well, this loaf is not like that. This is soft. You can just bite right on into it. Oh, it is so good. So this is a fantastic recipe and I'm so excited to share it with you. So let's just get started. We only need 5 ingredients to make this sourdough croissant bread. We're gonna need some sourdough starter, some salt, some water, and some flour. And later we're gonna need a stick of butter. And that's it. This is such a simple loaf of bread to make. Now we're gonna start with our sourdough starter. This is my sourdough starter Hester. I'm gonna use 85 grams of this starter. Now, in the written directions, I'm also gonna leave the recipe in grams, but also in cups and spoons, if that helps you. This is Hester. This is my classic unbleached flour sourdough starter. And I actually have Hester freeze-dried on my website. So if you're needing some sourdough starter, you want a shortcut to sourdough, this is a great way to do it. You just reconstitute it, give it a few feedings, and soon you will have my really strong established sourdough starter. Now, I also have my sourdough starter Millie. This is my fresh milled flour sourdough starter, and she is nice and strong and established too. So you have lots of options, and you can use either kind of starter for this recipe. Okay, I'm gonna zero out my scale and I'm gonna add some water. You want this to be room temperature to slightly warm. You want it to be about 80, 85 degrees. You don't want it too hot to kill your wild yeast. So I'm gonna use 200 grams of water. Now I'm gonna go ahead and give this a good mix. Just helps when you go to incorporate your other ingredients if your sourdough starter and your water is already mixed together. Now to the sourdough starter and water, I'm gonna add some flour. I'm gonna use bread flour. You can also use all-purpose, but I'm gonna use 325 grams of flour. 325 grams. And like I said, I'll also give this to you in cups down in the written recipe. I'm going to zero out my scale one more time and I'm going to add the salt. I like to use this Redmond's Real Salt, but you can use white iodized table salt, the pink Himalayan salt, whatever you want. But this stuff is really cool because it's from North America and it's mined in Utah. So I think that's pretty neat. But I'm going to use 8 grams of this salt. And isn't it a pretty color? I think that's really neat. All right. And those are all of our ingredients for our sourdough dough. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a good mix. And I'm just gonna take probably 2 minutes, give this a really good mix. Make sure everything's incorporated and there's no dry patches of flour or anything like that. So it's gonna take a little bit of elbow grease. It's gonna get a little bit hard to mix. You can also use a stand mixer if you want to use your KitchenAid or a Bosch. You can definitely use a mixer if that's easier for you. But just to let it get to the shaggy dough stage. You don't need it to knead for very long. And I'm mixing this dough with my spurtle. I love using spurtles for sourdough. It's really nice to mix your dough with the spurtle, but it's also really great for your sourdough starter when you're feeding it. Oh, it's just so nice. Okay, I am gonna go ahead, now that I've mixed that really good, I'm gonna get in here with my hands. And I just want to kind of work in that extra flour, all those dry ingredients, because the middle of this dough is wet and the outside is dry right now. So I wanna kind of squish it around, get all of these ingredients incorporated into this ball of dough. And there we go, there's our shaggy ball of dough. Now, I'm gonna cover this with plastic wrap and I'm gonna let it bulk ferment on the countertop. You can let it go anywhere from 3 to 12 hours. I know it's a long, big range, but this recipe works 3 hours all the way up to 12 hours. It's kind of late in the day, so I'm gonna let this go overnight. So I plan on letting this bulk ferment for about 10 hours, and I'll show it to you in the morning and we'll add our butter. It's early the next morning and my sourdough has been bulk fermenting on the countertop at room temperature for about 10 hours. You can see how it's risen and expanded, and now it's time to add the butter inclusion to take this from a simple sourdough loaf to a decadent croissant sourdough loaf. I'm using 1 whole stick of butter, which is a half a cup or 113 grams, and I'm just going to grate this butter onto my bulk fermented dough. Now it's time to do the stretch and folds and to shape the dough. Simply grab the dough from one side of the bowl, lift up and stretch it over to the other side. Rotate your bowl and continue to do that same motion over and over. This sourdough has just one set of stretch and folds, making it really simple. This is a really important step because the stretch and folds strengthen the gluten, which allows it to trap gases and rise, all without the need for traditional kneading. As you do this step, you can feel your dough change. It goes from being stretchy and shapeless to very, very tight and easy to shape. So sourdough, in my opinion, is really simpler and easier than other breads you can make. But people have made it very, very complicated, and it really doesn't need to be. So I say just make the bread and have fun with it. The butter inclusion has gotten worked all into the dough, so this is looking great. I feel like this is the easiest way to add inclusions to my sourdough bread. Now I'm just going to pick up this ball of dough, I'm going to flip it over and just kind of work it into a nicer ball, just so everything stays together really nicely. Now I'm going to throw it back into my bowl, cover it with the plastic wrap again, and now I'm going to let it sit on the countertop for an hour, and then it'll be time to score it and bake it. You also have the option right now of throwing it into your refrigerator and baking it later. You can bake it today, tomorrow, whenever you want to. This will affect the flavor of your sourdough bread though, so that's something to keep in mind. If you want it to be a milder sourdough, then go ahead and bake it now. If you're looking for a really strong sourdough flavor, let it sit in your fridge for a couple days and then bake it. You'll be surprised how much it affects the flavor. Now it's time to score the dough. Scoring will help your bread not to burst in the oven as it expands and rises. So it's a really important step in sourdough bread. It also helps you to get a better oven rise or oven spring. So don't skip this step. So I put a little bit of flour on top before I score. You can be as creative or simple as you'd like to be. Today I'm just going to do a simple cross cut in the top of the dough. You'll want to go down about 1/4 to 1/2 inch deep into your dough. I'm using this bread lom. It cuts through the dough so nicely and it's really nice for scoring, but you can use any sharp knife. Now our sourdough croissant bread is ready to bake. I'm going to put this in my Dutch oven and put the lid on. You can use any Dutch oven. Sometimes I'll use these enamel Dutch ovens. Sometimes I'll just use the cast iron ones. There's lots of different kinds. This is about a 5 or 5.5 quart Dutch oven. I'm going to do a cold bake. So I'm going to put my cold Dutch oven into a cold oven. I also like to put a cookie sheet under my Dutch oven to prevent the crust from getting a little too crunchy on the bottom. Now I'm going to set my oven to 450 degrees and let my bread bake for 50 minutes with the lid on. Then I'm going to take the lid off. I love to peek at my bread at this point. Oh, look how good it looks. Now I'm going to let it continue baking for another 5 to 10 minutes until it's as brown as you want it to be. I also reduced the oven temperature to 425 degrees. And our sourdough croissant bread is ready. Look at this gorgeous loaf of bread. I just want you to see how soft and pillowy this loaf is before I cut into it. Oh my goodness, I just love that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cut into this loaf. I'm gonna cut right into the middle so we can check out the crumb. Oh, look at that. Look at that gorgeous loaf of sourdough bread. Like I said, it's a croissant loaf, so it's soft. Oh, look at that. You can just squish it. Oh my goodness. It's just such a fun loaf of sourdough bread to make. Now that we've cut into it and checked out the crumb, I'm gonna take a little bite of this bread. Oh, I just love cutting into it and seeing how soft it is because it's so different than normal sourdough bread. That extra butter, just really makes it so soft. So good. It has a fantastic buttery flavor. Definitely tastes like a croissant or maybe even a biscuit. I've definitely eaten more biscuits than croissants in my day. So this tastes like a biscuit to me, and I think it just tastes fantastic. This sourdough croissant bread is so good. I could eat half this loaf right now, all by myself, no problem. Now that our bread is done and it's cooled a little bit, I'm gonna show you how I store my sourdough loaves. This is a beeswax bread bag, and my daughters and I make these together. We infuse them with beeswax and jojoba oil. They're naturally antimicrobial, antibacterial, and they're so cute. This is a brand new pattern. This is a brand new bag. I haven't even used it yet. This measures 11.5 by 17, so it's nice and big, so I can fit several loaves in here. They're perfect for sourdough bread, but I store all of my breads in these beeswax bread bags, and I love them. So I'm just gonna open this up. I'm gonna put my sourdough loaf in here. Now, these are breathable, so your bread doesn't mold when you use these beeswax bread bags. And there we go. Isn't that cute? They make great gifts too. So I will leave the recipe for the sourdough croissant bread down in the description. It'll be on my website, robinonthefarm.com, and these beeswax bread bags and sourdough starter and whatever else you need is on there too. Thank you so much for being here with me on Robin on the Farm, and I will see you next time.
Robin's in the kitchen, dough beneath her hands, wheat from the fields and eggs from her land. Sunlight through the window, a warm golden glow. She's working hard to make that dough. With flour on her apron, loving each need, ground wheat fresh, sowing her seed. The smell of fresh bread rises.